Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're cutting through the noise today on a really significant story out of Ethiopia. For a long time now, businesses there, well, they've struggled, haven't they? Finding that long-term investment, that patient capital for big projects, it's really stifled growth. So today, we're diving into something that could genuinely change the game. The launch of Wegagen Capital Investment Bank SC. It's one of the country's very first licensed investment banks.
Yeah, it's a really pivotal moment, for Ethiopia's capital markets, which are still quite young, nascent, really. This isn't just another bank opening its doors. It's more like Ethiopia's getting the specialized financial engine it's needed for a while. Think about it. A working capital market means companies can raise money in new ways, beyond just bank loans, attracting investors, both local and potentially international. That's huge for growth.
Absolutely huge. So let's talk leadership. Who's steering this ship? At the helm is Buna. Now, if you follow Ethiopian banking, that name probably rings a bell. She was involved in forming Wegagen Bank itself, the parent company, and she was president of Zaman Bank. Quite the resume.
Oh, definitely. And her vision here, it's not just talk when she talks about integrity, innovation, and impact. Well, with her background, she gets it. Integrity means building trust, which is, frankly, essential in a market finding its feet. And innovation isn't just flashy products. It's about new ways to think about long-term funding in Ethiopia. This whole venture, it's a direct response to that need for specialized services to unlock capital.
Okay, integrity. In a brand new market, how does an investment bank show that? What does integrity look like day to day for them, trying to set a standard?
Well, it has to mean really solid due diligence, transparency, following the rules to the letter. It's all about building that investor confidence right from the get-go. You can't afford missteps early on.
Makes sense. And they're offering a full suite of services. That sounds comprehensive. We're talking capital raising, underwriting IPOs, guiding companies, going public M&A advice, restructuring help, plus brokerage and trading. They seem to be covering all the bases. So can you give us an idea, like what kind of projects or businesses were stuck before, specifically because these services didn't exist?
Right, good question. Think about a large Ethiopian company, maybe in manufacturing or infrastructure. Before, their main options for big money were bank loans, maybe some private equity if they were lucky, limited choices. Now, they have a partner like Wegagen Capital to help them issue bonds, maybe sell shares publicly. It opens doors for expansion, big projects, maybe even tech startups. And they're targeting a wide range to government bodies, public companies, private corporations, even wealthy individuals. The focus is long-term value.
Got it. And financially. They launched with 385 million birr in paid-up capital. That's around 6.7 million US dollars. That's a serious chunk of change to start with. Shows ambition. Majority owned by Wegagen Bank SC, the share company, plus other investors. And Aklulu Wubet is the chairman.
And this brings up a really important regulatory point. In Ethiopia, commercial banks have to set up separate independent companies for investment banking. So Wegagen Capital is its own entity, distinct from Wegagen Bank. Buna actually highlighted this. She said it opens up opportunities to collaborate more widely with others in finance.
Right, independence. And that feels even more important when you look at the wider market, doesn't it? The Ethiopian Securities Exchange, the ESX, launched 6 months ago now, something like that. But activity's been, pretty quiet. Remember the state telecom IPO? Only sold about, that 10.7% of the shares offered?
Yeah, 10.7%. That wasn't exactly a roaring success, and it highlights the challenge. Market skepticism is real.
So how does a new player like Wegagen Capital tackle that? How do they build excitement and trust where things have been slow?
That's the million birr question, isn't it? The ESX CEO, Tilahun Kasahun, he's been pretty clear on this. He basically urged Wegagen Capital to take an inclusive approach. It can't just be about profit, he said. It needs to be about broader participation and impact to really get this market going. So Wegagen will likely need to focus heavily on educating investors, building that trust brick by brick, and finding really compelling deals. And we should mention CBE Capital SC is the other player that just got licensed too. So having both of them starting operations, well, that could be the catalyst needed.
Right. Two players entering the field might just spark things. So wrapping this up, the launch of Wegagen Capital feels like a really significant moment. Injecting these specialized services hopefully accelerates things, helps build that capital market Ethiopia needs. It almost sounds like Ethiopia's own version of Wall Street might finally be taking shape, but on its own terms.
Exactly. And maybe a final thought for you, the listener. Think about those principles they're emphasizing: integrity, innovation, impact, and add that focus the ESX CEO mentioned, broader participation. Could that combination be the key, not just for Ethiopia's market development, but maybe as a model for other emerging economies too? It poses a really interesting question. Is inclusivity the secret ingredient for building successful capital markets from the ground up?